Hi, my name is Edwin Ong and my metric number is 264072. Today, I'll be presenting about my persuasive speech. So, the topic of my persuasive speech is why should we play video games with the general purpose of persuading. So, let's start. Believe it or not, scientific researchers have proven that video games are actually good for us. In fact, there are several researchers and studies that backs this finding. I know that most people believe that video games are only for entertainment purposes and have no beneficial values, and most people will have their trouble wrapping their hands around their head around the idea that video games are actually good for our mind and body. So one of these people is my mom, who is repeatedly blamed the video games for every discomfort that befalls upon me. Hand in pain? Play too much video games. Eyes getting red? Play too much video games. Stomach ache? Even stomach ache? Playing too much video games. But other than that, she's a great mom. So, nevertheless, real researchers from credible sources have proven the element to make video games fun are good for our health, for both the brain and the body. I myself have done some research and have came up with a few evidence that proves this finding. Hence, today, I would like to share my finding on this standpoint. These findings are video games help to develop real-world problem-solving skills. They're effective as mental stimulants, and while at the same time, they help improve our eyesight. So, let's begin with the first point, which is video game helps to develop real-world problem-solving skills. So, based on an article, How Video Games Can Help to Improve Problem Solving and Creativity in November 2017, video games benefit us in our problem solving skills in many ways. First and foremost, we learn from our own mistake. Without realizing our own mistake, we cannot improve for the better. Taking an example, cliff jumping. If you have ever tried jumping off a cliff in a game and could not reach the other side, you immediately realize that you're jumping the wrong way and you need to come up with another solution to jump over to the other side. So through this mistake, I can guarantee you that you will analyze your game's approaches to match with the game's tempo. So if you keep on repeating the same thing, you definitely won't be able to go through it, right? Moreover, you learn how to give up. This might sound a little silly, but it's actually really important. Video game teaches you how and when to give up. Life doesn't always work the way we wanted to. We are often enlightened through different perspectives in life about when should we put ourselves down or even put ourselves to a stop when we are doing something. As an example, playing an MMORPG game often requires us to have great equipment and money to be strong and be powerful in the game. What if you are a new player without the knowledge in the game of how to be strong? All you can do is give up trying to get the best things and start grinding yourself first, learning more new stuff before you actually achieve what you wanted to. A part of it, you experience various problems and come up with your own solution for it, which is it plays a role in your personal growth. Different games teaches you different lessons, and you're bound to encounter a situation in life where you can implement that theory to solve it. Talking about experiences, I guess it's often that you hear about scams literally everywhere. Inexperienced people tend to get scammed off easily because they easily believe what others say, which is applicable to real life situations. Imagine that you have countless experiences in game and you encountered one in real life one day. How would you respond to it? Therefore, I think video games is a must to play, and we must play more. The more we play, the more experience we gain, the more real-world problem-solving skills we get. I personally played, in fact, too many games to count, which got me here to where I am today, where I can understand the meaning of what others are trying to express just from their first sentence. So, next is video games are brain stimulants. According to an article, Why Video Games Can Be Good For You, written by Game Designing in early October 2020, they quoted that a study conducted by the University of Iowa's researchers shown that adults over the age of 50 played video games for 10 hours and their brain would deteriorate in a slower pace. Would you believe that? Yes, in fact, it's real. There are countless aspects when talking about our brain's cognitive system. Among it is to help improve coordination. Actions done on the screen actually requires a lot of mental stimulus. For one person to play it well, they are required to coordinate their personal, visual, listening, and physical movement to match the game's tempo. Else, they will feel the uneasiness while playing the game, or even at a loss. Playing video games also enhance one's memory. There are many things in the game, just like studying, that requires reading or listening the instruction well. It's just like getting a quest. Or if you put it in what we are actually doing, which is getting assignment and listen to our lecturer's instructions. So if you actually aren't fulfilling it or listening well enough, we actually miss it. So game actually helps in improving our memory. While speaking of memory, not only the mental is stimulated, but the muscles memory is also trained. For instance, controlling the buttons on a joystick or typing on a keyboard is sort of a mastery that needs constant training to professionalize. Do you agree? Memorizing the quests, tricks, and instructions in video games is also a part of a mastery that helps our brain to function well while we are not using it much in real life. Do you realize that there are really many smart people that play games all the time? In my personal perspective, video games should be widely spread as its benefit that it brings is really immense, especially as brain stimulus. Ever heard of full dive system, where a person wears a device that brings them into a virtual world that they can feel and sense just like they are in real life? It's a new technology that is used to aid people with low cognitive system throughout the body. So my last point is why should we play video game? Because they help improve our eyesight. From the article Video Games Improve Vision, written by Brian Henworth in the National Geographic, he quoted that action video games are able to improve one's visual ability. Crucial for many tasks such as reading or even night drives. This ability is named as the contrast sensitivity function, which let people discern the subtle changes in grey sight against a colored sight. This is also among the first of visual aptitude that fits with our age. Among video games that should be played are the first-person shooting games or the FPS games that requires one to pay a lot of attention and to react fast to actions and moving objects. A study by researcher Daphne Morer from the McMaster University in Canada shown that 6 patients from the age of 19 to 31 with bad visuals is asked to play video games for 40 hours in the period of month. Results shown that 5 of the 6 patients rectify that their visions improve and they have 30% increase in their ability to recognize other people's faces. In my opinion, as a gamer myself, I agree with the ability that can be trained while playing video games. Although there are downsides to the eyesight for excessive gameplay, playing moderately with strict control can help to improve our eyesight in real world, such as looking at things from afar, even recognizing something by just scanning through it. So, in conclusion, playing video game is a must, and there are countless of hidden benefits which can only be felt after experiencing it by yourself. The world have moved to a technological and virtual or even augmented reality to create solutions for people with many types of sickness. Thus, the 3 reasons why we should play video games are because it can help to develop real-world problem-solving skills. They are able to stimulate one's mental health and also improve their eyesight. So, The world of gaming is an era, and it is even a career that one pursues for. People should start realizing the importance of playing video games and start investing some time to understand instead of criticizing it all the time. I personally am a grown up. I've played games until I've got bored, but I know the importance because I've experienced it before. Without experiencing it on your own, you would never know how it feels, rather than just talking all about it. Thank you.